It now gives me great pleasure to introduce our distinguished speaker for this ceremony. Dr. Thomas Pat Colgate was associated with Chadron State College for 37 years before retiring in 2002. He served the last 15 years here as Dean of the School of Education and Graduate Studies. Before that, he was chairman of the Division of Physical Education for 18 years, and he served 2 stints as the college's athletic director. Under his leadership, Chadron State's long-standing reputation as one of the outstanding teacher training institutions in the nation was enhanced. Dr. Colgate grew up in the Denver area and obtained his bachelor's and master's degrees from the University of Northern Colorado. He worked on his doctorate at the University of Iowa for 2 years before coming to Chadron State in 1965 as a health and physical education professor, head swimming coach, and assistant football coach. 2 of his swimming teams at Chadron State College won district championships. During his tenure as dean, Chadron State's teacher education program was reaccredited on 3 occasions by both the National Council for the Accreditation of Teacher Education and the Nebraska Department of Education. As head of the Chadron State College education program, Dr. Colgate maintained close working relationships with school administrators in the region and served on the executive committee of the Nebraska Council of Teacher Education and also numerous other committees for colleges of teacher education. He was instrumental in the founding of the Western Nebraska chapter of Phi Delta Kappa, a professional organization for educators, and we all recognize one of Dr. Colgate's major accomplishments at Chadron State was helping to plan, promote, and design the Nelson Physical Activity Center. He was involved in the project for more than a decade before funding was finally approved in 1985 and the building was opened in 1987. In 2002, Dr. Colgate was inducted into the Chadron State Athletic Hall of Fame. Chadron State College is indeed fortunate to have Dr. Colgate on the faculty and administration for 37 years. His legacy continues today and will continue for many, many years to come. I feel fortunate to have Dr. Colgate here today to address the graduating class. Dr. Colgate.
Thank you, Dr. Park. That is not for me to stand on. We have another function for that. So if you're going to think I forgot to take my booster chair up here, that's not it. Thank you, Dr. Park. Platform party, faculty, guests, students, good evening. I hope you're as excited about this day as I am. I was truly pleased when President Park invited me on behalf of the trustees, faculty, and commencement committee to give this graduation address. I'm somewhat awed by the responsibility of delivering such an address from a position of a returning retired faculty member. I spent 37 years sitting over on this side of the aisle and attended over 100 graduations and listened to more than 100 graduation speakers. I'm here to talk to you who are graduating. Your parents, spouses, and guests may listen if they like. But tonight, I'm talking with you because you're the most important people in this arena. You have earned this right, this night of honor and recognition. I would like to focus my comments on the concept of hope. Yes, hope. It seems with all the major disasters over the past year, from the tsunamis, earthquakes, hurricanes, tornadoes, that hope is all that some people have. A number of years ago, you hoped you'd graduate from high school and get accepted to a college. Then you hoped you'd get a good roommate. Then you hoped you'd make it through the first semester. Hoped you'd make it through that freshman year. Hoped you could master all the intricacies of your major. And then finally hope you'd graduate. And you master's people, you hoped you'd pass the GRE, get your paper written, pass your orals, and hope you'd graduate also. Right now, you're all hoping that my comments don't take so long so that you can get out and start celebrating. So there is hope. What is hope anyway? It can be defined as desire accompanied by an expectation of fulfillment. Hope is a wonderful thing. It gives us a future, a direction. Even the smallest nibble keeps a fisherman hoping all day that he's going to catch a big one. Hope is the only good that is common to all persons. Those who have nothing else at least have hope. What can we do? What can you do to bring your desires to fulfillment? If we look at the letters that make up the word hope and assign to each a component of action, I think you will see how to achieve your dreams. The H of hope can be considered to be heart, that part of your personality that makes you, you, your intellectual and emotional traits. O can be considered to be opportunity. Yes, opportunity, a favorable juncture of circumstances. Opportunity will come to all of you, but many of you will not recognize it as such. And many of you who recognize it may not seize the opportunity. P can represent persistence and perseverance, the ability to go resolutely on in spite of opposition, ensuring that you continue on in spite of interference or treatment. E can signify effort, the single continued order or directing of your energy to overcome obstacles. Without hard work and determination, there will be little effort. The fourth letter in hope. Now allow me to expand on each of these components in a little more depth. Heart, your emotional, intellectual you, I believe is made up of 5 things: attitude, character, integrity, goals, and leadership. The first being attitude. Your positive attitude will help you do everything better. I've worked with winners and I've encountered losers. I've experienced optimism as well as negativism. I've known people who live life to the fullest and some people who just existed. My conclusion is, what a person possesses inside will affect what is happening outside. Attitude is a reflection of you as a person. Secondly, character is important. There's a Latin proverb that goes, "It matters not what you are thought to be, but what you are." President Theodore Roosevelt stated, quote, "I care not what others think of what I do, but I care very much about what I think of what I do." That is character. Goals is the third part of heart. Goals give you specific directions to take to make your dreams come true. One of my colleagues tells when he was hired to plow a field. His first day was a disaster. As he watched the plow turn the soil behind him, little did he realize that by the time he reached the end of the field, the row was noticeably crooked. At the end of the day, the crooked rows were noticed by the farmer, and the farmer gave him this advice: you can't plow a straight row if you continuously look back. You must keep your eyes focused straight ahead. So it is with life. Plowing our way to the future is powered by meaningful and specific goals. Focusing on the past, what lies behind, will prevent you from effectively pursuing your future. It's never too early to set your goals. A couple years ago, I went down to visit my son and my grandchildren, and my little 3-year-old Millie come walking on the porch, and she said, "Dad, where's Grandpa?" He said, "Well, he's taking a nap." She puffed up and said, "Well, when I'm old and fat, I'm not going to take naps." So it's never too early to set goals. Integrity is the fourth key part of heart. You'll have integrity in everything. Integrity means wholesomeness, completeness. That means truth in everything, in deed and word. Never do anything to compromise your integrity. Anything worth achieving is worth an honest effort. There are no shortcuts to becoming successful. Be true to yourself. And that even if you can't be the best in your chosen field every day, you can be the best person every day. The fifth part of heart is leadership. Leadership is not a goal, it is a way to reaching a goal. Leadership is not about having a title, but how you perform on a daily basis. I lead best when I help others to go where we've decided to go. I lead best when I help others to use themselves creatively. I lead best when I forget about myself as a leader and focus on the group, their needs and their goals. To lead is to serve, to give, to achieve together. All of you are capable of this. There's not a one of you that isn't. The second letter of hope is O, signifying opportunity, the favorable juncture of circumstances. You create opportunities. You develop the capacities for moving toward opportunity. You turn crises to creative opportunities, defeats into success, and frustrations into fulfillment. You do this by being ready to meet the challenges. Thomas Jefferson, with all his brilliance and great confidence in the future of the Republic, thought it would take 1,000 years to settle the West. Little did he know that given individuals can accomplish given the opportunity to create for themselves. Some people approach their futures like a mosquito on a Florida beach. They see a lot of opportunities, but they fail to decide where to start. Don't be a mosquito. Seize the opportunities when you're given the chances. Perseverance and persistence represent the leader P in hope. Samuel Johnson stated that, quote, "Good works are not performed by strength, but by perseverance," unquote. Persistence is self-discipline in action. How do you know when you've received enough? Easy. When you've achieved what you set out to do, it is enough. After being rejected by Hewlett-Packard and Atari, Apple microcomputers had first-year sales of $2.5 million. During the first year of business, Coca-Cola Company only sold 400 Cokes. Michelangelo endured 7 years lying on his back on a scaffold to paint the Sistine Chapel. Michael Jordan was cut from his high school basketball team. In 1966, the Chadron State football team had a record of 0 wins and 10 losses, the worst up to that time and the worst since that time. 2 years later, in the fall of 1968, we had 8 wins and 1 loss. The same players who had started in 1965 and went through the blood years persevered and turned the football program around. Yes, I was assistant coach to both of those teams, and I can assure you that no trait that I witnessed was more pivotal in the turnaround than the perseverance and persistence of the players and coaches. You may never make history, become a famous athlete, invent a new product, or start a multi-million-dollar company, but whatever your dreams, your perseverance and persistence will determine your measure of success. The last letter of hope, the E, represents effort. Concerted action to overcome obstacles. As you face opportunities and challenges in the coming years, to become successful, you must put forth the effort to do things losers refuse to do. Nobody can coast through life on the basis of gifts they had nothing to do with in the first place. You must put forth the effort to study, train, apply yourself, and work to become the best at what you choose to do. Put forth your effort to excel. President Ford stated, quote, "There is no substitute for hard work. There will be disappointments, but the harder you work, the luckier you get. Never be satisfied with less than your very best. If you strive for the top and miss, you'll still beat the pack," unquote. There, we have it. Hope. I strongly believe that heart, opportunity, perseverance, persistence, and effort will provide you with a framework for success. This look at hope leads me to these final remarks. It was a number of years ago I sat where you now sit, poised to plunge into the outer world. I know there are a myriad of anxieties and hopes which haunt you as you enter your chosen career. What then shall I say? With a full sense of responsibility, I encourage you to fulfill your hopes and have the heart to see things through, take advantage of opportunities, persevere and persist, put forth every effort to succeed. Life is out there just waiting for you, and I have unwavering confidence that you will make your family, the faculty, the entire college community proud. I wish you the best. Thank you and congratulations.